Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So quick note, the intuition activation webinar is on the 20th of March. You can get yours on the link in the description box below. It would be great to see you there. If you can't make it, you can always catch the replay, so don't worry if you can't be there in person on the day. You will still have lifetime access. Your key to the week this week, Aquarius, is the Faith card. Now this is the Hierophant card, but in this deck it's literally called Faith, which slightly changes the energy of this. This is really speaking to you to ask you, where is it that your faith is placed at the moment, and more importantly, what are you giving credence to? What is it that you are putting all of your time, focus, energy and faith in? And more importantly, is whatever it is that you're putting your faith in able to bear that? You know, what are the results that are being produced? And it's weird as well, because in a way I kind of feel like this card is actually speaking to either your intuition or your intentional power this week. What are you doing with your energy? What are you doing with your focus, your time, your inner resources? Not the outer ones, the inner ones. Your time, your energy, your focus, all of those things are a currency. They are spiritual currencies, and this week you need to ask yourself what you are doing with them. What are you doing with that potent force that is within you? For your actions and options this week, you have the Strength card. This is very interesting to me because it suggests that this week you are not only getting into the heart of hearts, this is going to see you really shaking up your belief structure, your belief system. I think for a lot of you, if you don't already have a spiritual practice, I think this week you will be dedicating your time to your spiritual practice more than ever. Or for some of you, you will be taking those first steps towards creating a spiritual practice that you believe works for you. This is a week to really get in touch with yourself at that deeper heart-spaced spiritual level. Now, another way that this could play out for you as well when it comes to your physical health, and it's really interesting, you know, I've had this conversation with a friend recently, and we were saying, you know, if your spirit is really strong, your physical body needs to be just as strong so that you can continue to do whatever it is that you're doing, whatever work you do, right? Your physical body needs to be at optimum. And this is the same. So for some of you, this might be looking at your diet. For some of you, this might be looking at your exercise regime. For a lot of you, this is going to see you really starting to get very selective about what and who you give your time and your energy to. There's a lot of things coming out the woodwork this week. You trust me for that. For your communications and conversations, you have the Five of Wands, right? So all fives have also been called the agents of chaos. I don't really like to say it that way because I think it's a bit too sort of doom and gloom. But what five does represent is the nature of change. And change is very rarely easy and smooth. It has its moments of peaks and troughs. The fact that you've got two fives here as well, two fives in the tarot, you'll have heard me say this before, represents a vigil. This is a week for you to be very conscious of what you say and who you say it to, who you're surrounding yourself with, who you're connected to, what you're speaking out into the world, what your intentional power is actually doing, and more importantly, who it's connected to. Now, when it comes to your those of you that work for somebody else, I will say this: you do have competition in the workplace. In fact, I'm going to say this for both people that work for themselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, and people that work for somebody else. There is a spirit of competition that surrounds you. And while you are doing very well and will continue to do very well, you just want to be aware of what you're saying and, more importantly, to who you are saying it. This is a week for you to be really careful with what you speak on. Now, the Five of Wands can be many people talking at once, very loud conversations, fast communication. For another way that this could play out as well, on the lighter and brighter side of it, this pairing can literally represent things like group performance. It can be you making a guest appearance of some sort, which is absolutely awesome. Another way that this could play out is you being called upon for your expertise in some way, shape or form this week, but it's very likely to be in an overt way. So maybe somebody calls on you to say, look, you know what, I'd really like you to come on my show. I've got a guest spot for you. It's a really interesting energy. Now, for those of you that are retired or no longer working, the message here is, what can you do, or what are the things that you can put in place to play an assistive or a supportive role? That's one way to look at this. And the other one is somebody, and it looks like a young person, is going to need your input. There is a strong sense here that you are going to be called upon to offer a different perspective, and it's really important that your voice among the hubbub and the crowd and the loudness is the one voice that really is the voice of reason. All right, so you're known for that anyway, Aquarius, but make sure that this week, more than ever, in fact across the board, whether you're working or not working, this week you need to make sure that yours is the continued voice of reason. For your money and materials, all right, we've got the 9 of Cups. This is beautiful. Your money, your finances, this is fine. Everything is going to keep ticking over there. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, it looks like some of you have an ailment that you are either not getting seen to or have had for a while, and it's like you just get on with it. It's like you do whatever you have to kind of work your way through it, but now it looks like you're ready for real healing. This would be a good week to go and check in with a doctor, a good week to go in for a health checkup. It would be a good week for you in general to just get yourself checked out in any way, shape or form. Like if there's something that you've had that's maybe just lingering and you're just like, that I'm sure it'll go away eventually, this is a week to deal with it, to get to the root matter. And then finally, for your home and environment, this is really nice because it suggests you're going to get your wish. For a lot of you, that wish is literally about a move, a change of residence, or going somewhere else. I think a lot of Aquarian people are going to be setting this into motion. If they're not doing that, then they'll be doing something like some of you will be doing construction work on the home. So really interesting, really, for sure. For your love and relations, you have the 4 of Cups. For those of you that are single, look closer to home this week, right? It's going to be the people that are closest to you. It's very likely that this week you're going to be connecting with for those of you that are single, it just suggests that it's either amongst your friendship group or it's going to be closer to home that you are able to find someone, or you are going to realize that love and the potential for love is a lot closer to home than maybe you are giving yourself or the other person credit for. For those of you that are already in relationships or partnerships, this is not a week to let outside influences get in the middle or of whatever you're experiencing with your partner. And it does look like for some of you, it's almost like they're ticking over, but you kind of feel that something's not quite right. This is not the week to outsource to friends. This is not the week to outsource to family. This is not a week to bring any of the outside into the relationship. Whatever it is that you're dealing with or working on through that, you have to do it in-house this week, all right? All in all, this isn't a bad week. I just think it's going to be a very deep and very possibly intense week, which is great. There are really good things here, but I can't help but think there's a rod of steel that runs through this whole week as well. With that said, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Don't forget to check out your monthly numerology reading for the life paths. Take care, and I'll see you soon.